Hi, I'm Jim Womble, brought to you by BigRackBuckLure.com. That's my product. Go on there and check it out. You can buy it online. It tells all about it. You'll find out what it's all about. This is video number 2 of Ryan Adams' bushcraft knife that he made for me, and I'm doing a review on it. So get a seat, sit down, hot coffee, and let's go through it, and I'll show you some of the things this knife wound up being able to do. So I've had this knife now about a month, and I've been using it quite a bit. And, you know, I've showed it to a few people, and one fella asked me, does it hold an edge? That's a big thing. You know, you get some of these knives, they're not too expensive, and my goodness, they get dull the first time you use them. I've had this knife now for a month. I've used it and used it. I've been cutting things with it. I've made tools, which I'm going to show you. And I have not sharpened this knife, okay? I have not put a hone on it at all. And it's just unbelievably sharp. And how did Ryan achieve that? It's got a 1085 hardness carbon steel. He also set it in a solution up to about this far and harden the cutting edge to about a 52. So the darn thing is indestructible. It's unbelievable. So let's go on and see what it does. One of the first tools I made was a hammer. That's something you'll always forget camping, or not always, but you know what I mean. You can forget a hammer, or an axe even, that you can use as a hammer. You might forget that. So what do? If you got a good bushcraft knife like this, you make yourself a hammer. And believe me, this works as good as any hammer that I've got. As far as knocking in tent stakes, or, you know, doing any little chores around the campsite. So let's see how it splits wood, okay? Now I will show you just quickly. I got a piece of wood here, and how they do that with a knife. They take this part of the blade in here and put that right up against where you're going to split, and let that other part hang out over the edge, and just give it a whack. Now you hit the tip, and there you go. You got your stick of wood. Now it's a wet day, you gotta get a fire going. Where would that sharpness come in effect? If it's a wet day, you're going to have a hard time finding tinder to light a fire, okay? So if you go cut a log, the center of it, the water can't get to it. So it's going to be real dry, and this piece of cedar is a great candidate for that. And because that knife is so sharp, it can curl that up like that. There's your kinder. One of the things they'll talk about with bush knives is size. And size meaning they like them to be around 10 inches, 10.5 inches with a 5-inch blade. And the reason they like the smaller blade is to do intricate work like this. I cut that out with this knife, and it was not a big deal at all. Ryan's little flat spot he gave me for my thumb up top, and the flat spot here along this edge makes a great fulcrum to push with my thumb and do little fine work with that blade. And it just did a great job. This is a trigger to a rabbit snare. This is what I made. That fits in there like that. So when you pound that into the ground and hook that on, and hook one wire to a sapling bent over like a bullwhip, and the other one is in your circle, and the rabbit gets in it, starts wiggling around, unhooks it, and it bullwhips him into the air. So it does a very good job, and it'll work in any kind of weather. So that's just one other thing that I solved with it, and I'm very happy with. It does a good job. Remember I told you I forgot about telling you about the pointed end? to use for different things, for drilling things. Well, the next thing I made was, you've all heard of different ways of starting fires, and one was the bow drill. I've done bow drills. I've started fires with them and whatnot. I'm not going to take time to do that, but this is one that I did, and you can see the burnt marks in it where it got fires going. And but how it's made is, you have this platform that you step on the ground, and this goes into that hole, and you have to spin that rather quickly with a lot of pressure on the top. And how you get pressure on the top is, you put this block that I made with a hole, it fits in there, hold that down and push down on it hard, and you got your drill like this, your bow rather, and with a string, and you wrap that string around there, and you spin that. Okay, now what most knife makers have done is, they've incorporated a divot right in the knife. So you don't have to do this. You don't have to make one of those. You can put that into that hole, hold down on it, push down, and get your fire going. But look, that razor sharp edge, I'm putting my hand right at it. Yee. So I said, well, maybe I'm doing it backwards. So I flipped the knife over, and I grabbed this part and put it like that. Now I got the sharp edge over here. I don't care. I'm uncomfortable. It's wet. It's raining. My boots are slippery. I'm tired. I'm leaning over this thing trying to get a fire going. And if I slip and fall on that knife, it's going to ruin a good day. So anyway, my answer to that, I don't like it. No, I'd never use that. I'd go ahead and get back to and making the old block. Well, that's about it, guys. That's a spear I made. Now, I took the knife and split the end of this twice and put these little pieces of wood in there to help spread it out. And I took some a small sapling and took some cordage off of that. And what made it so hard and brittle is I burned it in the fire. Put it in the fire. You don't get it real hot, but you can see that's black, the carbon on it, where it hardened. It actually took all the moisture out of it. And boy, that's just as strong as iron. But it's good for if you had to spear fish, get something to eat. And there was some, some suckers in a brook or something, whatever you could eat, trout. And also it would double as a fishing pole. So that's some of the tools I made. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll make some more and continue. This is video number 2, and I'll make number 3 as soon as I, get around to it and get out and doing some things. The last video I made had well over 700 and some hits, so it looks like I got some lookers out there. So people that are interested, and I'll try to do a little bit better on the filming. I'm trying to do this with my phone. And it's I don't have a cameraman, and so bear with me on that. I'm not a movie star, and I'm just throwing it together. So don't forget, I make big rack buck lure. You can go on to my website, bigrackbuckler.com. You can order it online and see the testimonies. See the deer that they're harvesting with that stuff. It's unbelievable. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day and shoot straight, and may all your trophies be worthy of the book. My name's Jim Womble. Love you all.